Well, welcome back. We are continuing in the website section, talking about how the photo gallery software works. And in the last section, we were looking at editing the kitchen gallery of our website. And the way we know what file to edit is the kitchengallery.html is in the address here on our website. So we've got in the address, we've got the true32customcabinetry.com and then kitchengallery.html. So that's the file we wanted to edit, and that's where we were at in the HTML editing software. But right now I want to kind of review just real quickly in the photo or coffee cup photo gallery software. We came to this screen and we determined that we did not want to use this area as the FTP. There's not enough options there to be able to actually use that effectively because you can't upload this bit of data or this bit of code on your HTML page, the kitchen gallery HTML page. So we selected this by right-clicking and saying select all and then copy into the clipboard, and then we pasted that into the page. The next step we were going to take after we did that was upload that file to our website, and we were in the HTML editor, but having reviewed that, I don't see enough options there either to do that effectively. So we really need to use this Coffee Cup Direct FTP, and you'll need to get a copy of that. And again, it's very, very inexpensive software. And I deleted out the server account so that we could create one. You'll need to create a server account for your company. And you should have gotten an email from me, and that email would list your domain. Or you could have gotten that from if you have your own hosting company. But if True32 Corporation is hosting your website, you got an email from me that was from Lunar Pages, and it listed the information we're going to input here. So I'm going to say I want to add, and then we just want to say this is True32 Custom Cabinetry. And I like to keep all this, no spaces and no uppercase in this stuff, because if I have to retype it, I don't have to come back in there or it's quicker to type that way. And here I'm going to type in my username, and then the password. And then you can check this save password box, and that will keep it. And then our host name is your website address, which is again listed in that email, www. In this case, mine is true32customcabinetry.com. And then everybody's host folder should be the same unless you've got some odd hosting. If we hosted your website, your default folder will be public _ HTML, and that's pretty universal. There's very few hosting companies that won't be the default folder for all of your information. So for 99% of you, public _HTML will be the folder that you'll need to enter there. Otherwise, the email again from your hosting company, if you didn't have your website hosted by True32 Corporation, will have that information of what that hosting folder is. In this case, just say no, I don't even know what that is on that, and then you can finish this little ad here because that's free software. Here we went through a little interview and set up this site, True32 Custom Cabinetry, and we put in the host name, username, password, and the defaults over here were fine. And the defaults there are fine, they're always right. And then the FTP is our connection type, and again that was a default. But here we can choose our initial local folder, local being where the files live on your computer that you're working on, and remote being the server that we're attaching to. And all of this information is about the server, but locally we want to go to, and if I created your website, I probably put your folder in your My Documents folder unless you told me you wanted it somewhere else. So I would go to My Documents, and then you'll go into your documents and find somewhere down that list a folder called My Website. In my case it says websites because I have multiple sites. And then in this case I'm going to enter this folder, and that's where all the website documents live. And if you need a comment, you can do that. And then connect. and it takes it just a minute here to connect to the website. So what we're seeing on this side is your website, the server, public HTML, and this structure that the Coffee Cup Direct FTP is using is very similar to the structure you would see if you were browsing your hard drive, because over here we see the hard drive and over here we see our server. So in this case, the files that we want to upload onto our website are over here, and we want them to be over here. Now the first thing we want to do is, remember we had this little bit of code here, and we did this last time in the HTML editor, but I'm going to kind of do it again. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to come back over here, and we're going to find that file, kitchen, and there it is right there, kitchengallery.html, and we're going to right click on that and say we want to edit it. And what that'll do is open it up down here. Now this is not as nice size a screen as we saw in the other piece of software, but you could reconfigure this another way if you'd like to, where you put my computer up here and my documents down here, and let this whole right side, is however you want to configure it. But this works fairly decent. You can always slide this up some, and then we want to scroll down. Now this is typical HTML. Everything in an HTML page has opening and closing tags, and this is the opening tag for head of the page, and here's an opening tag for title and closing tag for title. But if we scroll down a ways, we'll see a closing tag for head, and that's it. Then an opening tag for the body, and the body is what you see on your website. All this stuff is telling your website something. And as we scroll down just a little bit, you'll start recognizing here your navigation. This is the code that makes your navigation work. There's home, about us, True32 system, process, right on down. If we just keep scrolling down, we're going to come to an area that has that same bit of code that starts with the word object and ends with the word object. And we want to get every bit of that from, right, we want to get the opening tag and the closing tag all the way to there. And we're going to right click and say paste, and that's going to put that new code that we wrote when we edited that gallery in here. And you see here's the kitchen gallery, and there's several files involved that we're going to upload to that, listed in this list of files, or this snippet of code. And this is all going to make that gallery work. Now I'm going to slide that back down, because we don't really need to see that now. We've edited that. And what we need to upload are all these files that say kitchen gallery. And if you're not sure what to upload, go back to your photo gallery software and know that we want to upload the page that includes this code, which is the kitchen gallery without a hyphen in any cap locks. But these are the other items that need to be uploaded: the kitchen gallery SWF file, HTML file, and XML file, and then a file folder called kitchen gallery files. So we'll go back here and we'll find all those. And you can. This is just like working on in your File Explorer. You can come in here and say, oh, there's the 3 of those. So I can click, either hold down Control and click them one at a time, or I could have clicked the first one and then held down Shift and clicked the last one. But since we're going to have to click the folder, we've got to scroll up and find that folder as well. And there it is right there. We would hold down Control again, and now if we scroll back down, we'll see that we've got kitchen folder highlighted. And depending on your connection speed, if you got a real slow connection, you might want to do these one at a time. You got a total of 4 files to upload and a file folder, and that file folder is big, so you might want to load the file folder first and then come back and get these 3 files. But you don't want to wait a long time, because your website's kind of in limbo at that point. So I've already done that so that we can see it. And so here we added, as you know, 2 more, and here they are, albums to this gallery. There's the Rowan kitchen, and there's the Radius 17A kitchen, the one we added last. This one we kind of talked about on the first video, of all the options within the photo gallery software. And then this other one, I'm going to go back to the album, and the Shaker Radius 17A Shaker cherry kitchen we added last. And there it is, and there's the item pictures. Now, one of the options we had was to have this thing show up if our mouse floated over the picture, or in this case, no matter where we put our mouse, this is all the way up, or always up. And one of the reasons I do that is if somebody wants to be able to take notes of what's, and they could float their mouse over it, but they may not know that either. But if they want to take notes of what items they're seeing that they like, as far as, oh, that's a TW10 door, when they're at the selection gallery later, they can use those notes to be able to choose what they enter over here on the right. And it doesn't matter whether you do it with that staying up all the time or whether they have to float their mouse over it. But here, where they're entering that data, it makes it a little easier to take notes. I definitely did that here, where this is automatic. Where you look in some of these other galleries, like let's say the bath gallery, and we go into that, if you don't float your mouse over that, see, that goes away. And you can set it up either way. It's just a preference in the setup. So that's how you upload those files to your server using the DirectFTP software. And that's done now, and we see the results of that. So the next video we're going to do is using the Forms Builder software from Coffee Cup to be able to edit your forms on your website. There's several places, and one of them we just looked at was in the Selections Gallery. Currently there's only 2 forms on the whole website, and that's this one, where this is a form, and then we have the one on the Contact Us page. And several things that you might want to edit about these things will be maybe an email address that the form that is mailed to when they hit the submit button, or maybe on the Selections Gallery form you possibly might need to add some additional items. Like recently I had to come over here to the distressing options, or not distressing, distressing options, and add level 3. That's a new option that wasn't available when we created the websites initially. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you on the Form Builder video soon.